Update 19 arrived here on Forza Motorsport about a week or so ago, containing many Porsches, most of which have been copy and pasted from other Motorsport and Horizon titles. One of the most interesting cars that is actually new is the 1981 Porsche 924, which is the prize for the new Porsche Tour in career mode. You can also unlock it by completing 10 races in the Porsche-themed multi-class series in featured multiplayer, but I think I'm kind of unlikely to spend the time doing either, to be honest, particularly as I didn't do the same for the Lotus, which I found much more interesting in the previous update. The other prize vehicle for completing the open class touring career mode is the 2023 Porsche 911 Turbo, but I do already have that car in Horizon, and we have an older 911 Turbo in this game already, so to me, I'm not sure really the point of trying to unlock it. Similarly to the 924, this can also be unlocked by completing 10 races, this time in the standard featured multiplayer multi-class series. There is, however, a new car as the spotlight car this week, which is why I'm looking at the update now, and another Porsche which has been added to the showroom in this update, which also has a VIP discount associated with it. There's the 1978, number 43935/78. We have had 935s before, so we'll start with that one, and then we'll get to what I think is probably the more interesting car, and actually to me the most interesting car in this update, certainly of the ones we can just go and buy, is the number 203 Porsche 961. So let's start with the 1978 car, and then we'll come back to this one in a minute. Being a racing car, obviously just the livery. So, as you might expect with a racing car, there's not much we can do here. We can take restrictor plates out, which could put the horsepower up to 1031 if that's something you want to do to your racing car. Brakes you can slightly improve. Obviously there's ballast. A couple of options for tyres, although I'd have thought it's... That's interesting, it's not on race tyres. You can of course do widths, wheels, and, well, there's only one drivetrain option, so as you would expect from a racing car, not a lot you can really do there. So then, let's take it for a quick 2-lap race around Circuit de la Sarthe against some AIs. This is the layout without chicanes, because old car. Bit of turbo lag. Don't know how we got away with that. Good run onto the straight. For some reason people are braking even though it's the version without chicanes. Oh wow. The Mustang is fast, apparently. Well, that was a bit of a boring rest of the lap till we're back on the straight again. I've sort of not really seen any other cars. Gives us a chance to drive from interior for a minute, I guess. And just like that, it looks like we're going to finish in 8th, so once we got up to that position it was kind of a little bit boring. Cool car though, even if we have had definitely some versions of it before. So then, let's head back to the showroom to purchase the other car, the 961, which I don't believe has previously been seen in any Forza games. So, again, I'm expecting this will just be available in the Rothmans colours. So let's go with that. Although for reasons they've deleted the actual sponsorship. So I think it just says racing. There are a few more upgrade options than for the other race Porsche. So we could do the fuel system, ignition, restrictor plates again. So you would probably also get this to over 1,000 if you were to... Nice, you can get it to 935. That seems suitable for a Porsche. Again, we can do the brakes and ballast. Similar things for tyres. It appears to not be on race tyres. And you could do the wheels and a race driveline. Again, though, let's kind of drive it as it was intended. So, we're once again back at Le Mans for this one, because although it did race at Le Mans and Daytona in 1986, this is the 1987 car with this livery and presumably a few other changes, which only ever raced at... Why have I gone straight in second? Only ever raced here. So yeah, it was a bit of a disaster, this car. There was only ever one of them, created for Group B endurance racing, which, as I understand it, is a category sort of that sat slightly below Group C at the same time. But yeah, it only competed in 3 races, this thing. 2 in 86 and this one in 87. I've again gone for the layout of the track without the chicanes, because they were introduced apparently in 1990, so this car in this configuration would have run this layout. As you can probably tell by the way it looks, it's loosely based on a 959, but yeah, apparently it was developed for Group B endurance racing, which was a category that disappeared, so in 87 it was in a slightly different... I'm not quite sure. Anyway, it didn't do much, and there was only ever one of them, so it's kind of been forgotten. Well, I mean, a circuit racing car based on a 959 is just kind of cool. But yeah, this is kind of the most interesting car of the update, the kind of star of the update, I guess, which is why I waited until this thing was the spotlight car to bother making a video about this update. Because to be honest, most of the other stuff is uninteresting, and the only car that is interesting, apart from this one, is a prize for campaign races, or doing some online racing, which I'm probably not going to do enough of to unlock. What's that Ferrari doing? Well, we're up to 5th, which is more successful than we did in the other car. So, yes, as I was saying, this thing did race twice at Le Mans, and only once at Daytona, and, well, I can kind of see why it didn't race again at Daytona, because apparently the banking was too much for the tyres, and it had several tyre blowouts, so... Surprisingly, it finished the race, though, apparently, so... Quite an interesting car, from what I've... Well, to be honest, I knew nothing about it before this update. It seems like quite an interesting car from what I very quickly read before making this video. So again, it's not looking like we're going to do the best in this race. My excuse is going to be that I don't play this game very often. But also that the AI are on the most difficult. Anyway, that's not really the point. The point was to experience the 2 new cars. Or the 2 most interesting and easily available new cars in this update. As we get completely killed into second to last corner. But yeah, this thing is particularly cool. Definitely the most interesting vehicle in the update, I think, at least. In the next couple of weeks, the Spotlight cars are going to be the Cayman GT4, and the Momo-sponsored Porsche 935, but after that, that's kind of all for this update. So unless you are particularly into your Porsches, it's been a pretty underwhelming one, I would say, with the 961 being the only readily available, properly new car, which is kind of just as well, because I think it is the most interesting car in this update. As we know though, the Forza 20th anniversary update is coming soon, bringing with it the return of the fan favourite Fujimi Kaido track, as well as hopefully some interesting cars, so that should make up for it. For today's video though, that is going to be all. As ever, do let me know your thoughts on the content covered today. What do you think of Update 19? And what do you think of the upcoming anniversary content? And, well, this game in general, now that it's been out for well over a year. For now though, that is going to be all, so thank you very much for watching, and I will be back with the next one very soon.